blood vascular system of the frog or circulatory system of the frog is having much importance. In the evolutionary point of view, the blood vascular system of the frog is having enough good importance. We use it so many times: hepatic portal system, renal portal system, and aortic arches. All for all that different types of things, we are going to get answers here. We can say this is a model one, the frog heart. That blood vascular system of the frog is having the heart, blood vessels, and blood. That heart, blood vessels, and blood. You can see the diagram here. This is the expansion of the arterial and venous system of the frog. So the heart. Let's see first of all about the heart. Muscular organ situated in the upper part of the body cavity. Here, again, before we go to the heart of the frog, as I explained in case of fishes also, that means we should know about ourselves. What is exactly the highest developed thing? If you know, then you can understand what is the difference exactly. Okay, so that's why I'm doing here. From the body parts, let's imagine these are the body parts. From the body parts, that superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. Superior, this is the inferior vena cava, and that along with that superior vena cava, the two superior vena cava, so we call two precaval veins, open into the right atria. They collect the deoxygenated blood. In general, we show the blood vessels we are carrying, means veins, we show in blue color. In that all medical books, this is the protocol. That's why I'm trying the same. So from the right atria, blood enters into the right ventricle, right atria to right ventricle. What next? What next? Blood, deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs. Deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs and then return back with the help of pulmonary vein oxygenation after becoming oxygenation. Do remember, this is not frog. This is human being. Okay, brief explanation. That to compare with the frog. Okay, so pulmonary vein brings oxygenated blood back to left atria, and that blood comes to the left ventricle. Then from the left ventricle, that left systemic aorta is sending blood to the body parts. Okay, so this is called double circulation, we can say. So who is sending blood to the lungs means we have our answer: pulmonary aorta. From where? Right ventricle. What it is supplying? Deoxygenated blood. Then who is supplying blood to the body parts? Left systemic arch or aorta. That what it is doing? It is supplying oxygenated blood. Okay, just keep this in mind. Then when we go to the particular frag, you can understand what is going to be here. That you can understand what is going to be here. Okay, now let's see the frags. The muscular organ situated in the upper part of the body cavity. It has two separate atria, right atria and left atria, we can say. But a single undivided ventricle is present. Means, in compare with the human being, we said we have four chambers, but here it is having only two chambers. Two atria, one ventricle. Three chambers are only present. Then heart is covered by a double-layered membrane called pericardium. As usual, pericardium is a double-layered membrane in human also. Pericardial, parietal peritoneum, pericardial, visceral peritoneum. The sinus venosus joins the right atrium on the dorsal side. Let me show you that sinus venosus. This is the frog heart, and let me draw the human heart also. Why we are learning the frog? To compare with human being only. I am doing so. Okay, the two precaval veins. Let me show you two precaval veins. That means superior vena cava and one postcaval vein, inferior vena cava. Both are going to open into a common opening. We call it as sinus venosus. We say it as sinus venosus. Okay, so that means Sinus venosus is a unique feature of frag. What about human being? The two precaval veins and the postcaval vein opening directly into the right atrium. That is the difference. You see that frog heart and human heart. Means we say in case of human being, sinus venosus is absent. Okay, the triangular chamber, sinus venosus, joins the right atrium on the dorsal side, which is a common duct of two precaval vein, one postcaval vein. In case of human being, the two precaval vein, one postcaval vein, opening separately and no sinus venosus in human being. That means in class Mammalia. It receives blood through three vena cava. What are the three vena cava? Precaval and postcaval. Two precaval vein, one postcaval vein. Next, the ventricle opens into the conus, excuse me. The ventricle opens into the conus arteriosus on the ventral side. The sinus venosus on the dorsal side and the conus arteriosus on the ventral side. Let me show you that these are the two chambers. And as I said to you, the two precaval vein and one postcaval vein which collects the deoxygenated blood and that pours the deoxygenated blood in right atria. The work is over. Okay. What about the pulmocutaneous vein? Why I use the word pulmocutaneous? As we said, lungs and skin are the major respiratory organs. That oxygen comes from the lungs and skin. That oxygenated blood reaches to the left atria. Okay, so right atria receive deoxygenated blood, left atria receive oxygenated blood. Okay, so that is in case of frog heart. The deoxygenated blood will be sent to the ventricles. Next, oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood is coming to the ventricle. So you said, you just imagine what is happening here in case of frog. That what is happening? Oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are going to combine in case of that ventricles. We call this kind of blood as mixed blood. Such blood we say mixed blood. There is no chambers. So immediately I'll make the comparison with the human being here. That we said the deoxygenated blood comes to the right ventricle and oxygenated blood will come to the left ventricle, right ventricle, left ventricle, they are separate. And deoxygenated blood will be pumped to the lungs and oxygenated blood will be pumped to the body. This is human being. Okay, so just compare. So what is happening? No mixing of blood in case of deoxygenated and oxygenated. Okay, so imagine there is a 40 mm of Hg oxygen partial pressure present here and in oxygenated blood 100 mm of Hg oxygen partial pressure can be expected over. They don't never they are going to mix up. Okay, so 40 mm of Hg oxygen pressure containing blood going to the lungs. Okay, so that what happens there? How you get into the lungs? With low oxygen partial pressure. Lungs are having high oxygen partial pressure. That's why they are given. That's why they are given oxygen from the lungs. It will come to the blood capillary. In case of human being, we are talking. The same we see in frog also. Then with 100 mm of Hg, you are going to the body part. Okay. With 100 mm of Hg, you are going to the body part. So what it facilitates? You can supply more oxygen to the tissues. Simply what I am saying here, you are in first year. Let me use a simple language. While going with towards the lungs, you go with empty hands. That means low pressure. You will get more. While going to the body parts, you go with full hands, fully filled hands. That it facilitates, you can supply more. That means the duty of that deoxygenated and deoxygenated, that it's just like comparing with an empty plate. That means just remember, don't write in an examination. Example I am giving here. That for example, you see a beggar. on the roadside, a beggar, if imagine if on a plate he just arranged like the bundles of 2000 notes like this, and sitting then at the temple steps, arranged 2000 bundles on the plate like this. Do you dare to give a rupee to him? That means here that's not the logic. Beggar well know, he know well, even though you may see over in newspapers, so many beggars are very rich. So even rich, he don't display, he will display the empty plate. Empty plate means he is creating the concentration difference between the concentration difference between your pocket, your purse, and plate. Your purse is with high concentration, your that beggar's plate is low concentration. So that means he is maintaining low pressure. If you maintain low pressure, you will get more. That's what I am talking. That's what I am saying here. Don't use this kind of language in the examination. Just for your understanding, we are going here. So that while going towards the lungs, what suggestion you are giving to the blood, how to go? How to go? That means, wait, it's coming out. So how to go? With low pressure. If you go with low pressure, you will get more oxygen. Then while going to the body parts, how you should go? You should be fully loaded. That facilitate that more oxygen will be supplied to the tissues. So just do remember this particular concept. And now let me compare what the frog is doing. Okay, so now let me show you the same that right atria with 40 mm of Hg oxygen, then the left atria with fully loaded 100 mm of Hg oxygen. That means oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. Both are going to be mixed up, mixed up. Okay, so just as a symbolism, I am showing two colors, but there is no two colors can be seen over. Don't misunderstand like that. Means mixed blood means there is a red and blue. Just please don't understand like that. That exactly technically what you can say that you have 100 rupees. Your friend is having 40 rupees. Okay, so what happens? 100 plus 40, 140 by 2. So each of you are going to get 70 each. That means in that way you have to understand that you are going to a party, your friend brought 100, you got 40, so each person can spend 70. In that way you have to understand. So that's why I am writing here directly the pressure here 70 mm of H, because 100 here, 40 here, both combined and mixed blood pressure is 70 mm of H. Now, the truncus arteriosus, conus arteriosus, we can say actually the full is called truncus, the base is called conus, and the top is said to be bulbous. Original names. I'm going through the text here that they used a word called conus arteriosus. We raise. Okay, so fully called truncus. This is conus, this is bulbous. The truncus arteriosus will arise, the conus arteriosus will arise, and it gives two branches. The two branches again gives three branches. Now, I am telling in the frag. The two branches again gives three branches. What are the names? Right carotid, right systemic, right pulmocutaneous. Here, left carotid, left systemic, left pulmocutaneous. Okay, left carotid, left systemic, left pulmocutaneous. That means that here three pairs of erotic arches. So many times we use this word. That's why I am spending time here to understand, to visualize them clearly. Okay, three pairs of erotic arches. We can say what are they? Carotid, systemic, and pulmonary. Pulmocutaneous in case of front. Carotid, systemic, and pulmocutaneous. So right and left sides, that's why we say six erotic arches are present. We use it to say. That full six you can see in the frag only. After that, some I'm going to be miss over. That's what we said in case of birds. Right systemic arch is present, left is absent. In case of human being, left systemic arch is present, right is absent. That kind of things we learned. That means what is exactly present that you can see in the frag. All the three pairs, six erotic arches. Okay, now let us see their duty. Right carotid goes to the brain only. Right and left carotid goes to the head region, brain. Then right systemic goes to remaining body parts. And right pulmocutaneous goes to the lungs and skin. Okay, so this is the issue. So what is happening now? You just compare with the human being, as I said to you earlier. That let us see here. Once we see the human being, then after we'll get back. So what I said in case of human being, what I said in case of human being, in case of human being, that human heart, while going to the lungs, we are going with less pressure. That's why you get more from the lungs. While going to the body parts, you are going with great pressure, not 1,000, 100. Great pressure. That's why you are able to provide that you are able to supply more oxygen. Okay, so we made two principles here based on the human being. While going to the lungs, go with empty plate, low pressure. While going to the body part, go with high pressure. So going with low pressure facilitates, you will get more oxygen from the lungs. Going with more pressure facilitates, you can give more oxygen to the body parts, isn't it? So, is it happening so in the frag because of this particular condition? Let us see, is it happening? No. Same pressure is going to the lungs. Same pressure is going to the body part. Same pressure is going to the particular. That means all mixed blood. We say simply mixed blood. Now I am saying with technical way. Okay, so saying in technical way. So just remember, this is the greatest application. How we are better than the frag. Okay, that I'll explain this when I go to the frag, that human cardiovascular system also. By taking chance, here also I'm explaining. When we see the detailed explanation of the human heart, there also I'll make this kind of comparison. That, but here I am taking a chance here for first time. The frog heart is taken. That's I compared with human being. Now when I'm explaining human heart, I'll compare with again. That means will become revision for us. Okay, got my point. So that's why what's the problem here? They can't take more oxygen from that lungs because you already have 70 lung says. They can't give more oxygen to the body part because they don't have 100. They have only 70. Okay, so our principle is completely failed. That means human principle. Going to the lungs, how he is going with less pressure. Going to the body parts, how he is coming with more that how he is going to the body part with more pressure. That's the thing. Just keep that in mind. Not necessary to remember at present, but that I explain with human being. When we learn human being, we do it same again. Now let's talk about the text is given. What are the issues are given by the text here? Each branch of the conus arteriosus divides into three aortic arches, namely carotid, systemic, pulmocutaneous, right and left side. Right carotid, right systemic, right pulmocutaneous. Okay, so that's it. Then blood from the heart is distributed to all parts of the body by the branches of aortic arches. That's what I shown to you. Okay, that no third chamber, that no fourth chamber, only two chamber. That truncus arteriosus will get raised, carotid, systemic, pulmocutaneous. Carotid, systemic, pulmocutaneous. So they only supplies to the lungs. They only goes to the body parts. Okay, three major veins. Caval veins collect blood from the different parts of the body and carry it to the sinus venosus. That I'll show you once again. That this is sinus venosus. Two precaval and one postcaval vein. Fuse and form a single one. That what do you say? Sinus venosus. Okay, that I am showing again. These are all new words to you. That's why I'm repeating. Portal systems. Now let's see portal systems. We have two types of portal system: hepatic portal and renal portal system. Okay, that hepatic portal system related to the liver, the special venous connection between the intestine and liver. Renal portal system is specially venous connection between the lower parts of the body and the kidneys. We can say that hepatic portal and renal portal. We need to know a little bit more because we use it so many times, isn't it? What it is exactly? So who collects blood from the body part? When question arises, immediately what we say? Who collect blood from the body part? right atria is collecting? Isn't it? That particular question will come. Answer will come immediately. Right atria is collecting. Heart is collecting. At least you have to remember. Okay. So if I ask you a question that who is collecting blood from intestine, that means esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, colon, rectum, anus, who is collecting blood from there? We'll answer the same. Who is
Right,
collecting? Who is collecting? Yes, what do
right
you?
atrium.
Yeah, we obviously we say the answer because right atrium collecting blood from body parts means simply we say any body part right atrium, but not here like that. That's what we are talking. Not here like that. There is a celiac vein, superior mesenteric vein, inferior mesenteric vein. Okay, no need to remember all that veins. That all that particular veins are going to fuse a vein called hepatic portal vein. All that veins are going to form hepatic portal vein. Okay. So this hepatic portal vein opens into liver, not into the heart. So now if I ask the same question, what's that? Who collect blood from alimentary canal? You see, is that who is collecting blood from alimentary canal?
Hepatic portal
Hepatic
vein.
portal vein.
Which organ is collecting blood from alimentary canal?
Liver.
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 Very good. Okay, this system we call hepatic portal system. Okay, portal circulation. Instead of heart, if anyone is doing the same work, we call that is portal circulation. Means capillarization in the body part and the same capillaries not opening into the heart or capillarized somewhere in other organ, we say portal circulation. We can say capillarization at organ, then that particular capillarization is happened in another organ other than the heart. So this is intestine, this is liver. Okay, so that what do you say? It has portal circulation. Okay, so besides definition, you just that you are now observing that clearly. Okay, now let's see. Now what that liver will do? Okay, liver, whatever the function they have that we'll discuss in second year, that this circulation, what it how it helpful for that all issues we'll see. From the liver, there is a vein will get raised, hepatic vein, which it opens into the post-caval vein. Okay, so that means simply we say branch of it. Liver is collecting and giving to the post-caval vein, to the heart through the post-caval vein. What do you call this circulation? Hepatic portal circulation. Okay. Now, let me say the same again in case of renal portal system. We still have, human being is having hepatic portal system. Okay. So, I am showing again, this is the post-caval vein. The post-caval vein. Just don't remember the names in the flow. I am using that words here. Okay. So, just I am using the names. The post-caval vein collecting blood from the posterior part of the body, that it when it comes to the legs, the posterior part of the body, it will divide into that external iliac, internal iliac, likewise vesicular, uterine, posterior epigastric, vesicular, uterine, posterior epigastric. Likewise, that means here the posterior part, urinary bladder, from urinary bladder, from that hind limbs, from the hind limbs, from the different parts of the body, whatever the blood is collected here, that goes to the heart. Simply we say, okay, but we have a correction here now. That in general we use it to say that goes to the heart, but we have some correction. What is the correction? Here is the correction. Okay. Now, who is collecting blood from there? Not, not the post-caval vein, not the heart is collecting. Who is collecting? Kidney is collecting that particular thing. Kidney. Let me show you. So I am showing the kidney here. So kidney. That means all these blood vessels come and open into the kidney. Okay. Now heart is not collecting. That I can name this vein as renal portal vein. This is said to be a renal portal vein. Here the branch of it is kidney. That's why what I say renal portal system. That means in case of frog, that both that means from esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, From the elementary canal, who is collecting liver. So that is after that it is giving to the for that heart through postcaval vein. Okay, so this is called hepatic portal vein. That all the diagrams drawn here are completely hypothetical, not at all match with the original frag. Don't try to frame the frag in that particular. So just showing here. Okay. So here we have even a small mistake. What's that? We drawn 4 chambers. You see? Oh my God, heart gone. Heart hurted. Yeah, we should show 3 chambers, isn't it? Heart hurting. Okay, that's it. Both hepatic portal system and renal portal system is in the picture now. But we don't have renal portal system. We have only hepatic portal system, and there are huge advantages with hepatic portal system that we'll discuss in the next in second year in human physiology. We'll discuss all the issues. So that's it. I just shown the hepatic portal system and renal portal system. Now moving on to the topic that in blood vascular system, the third one is blood, composed of plasma and cells. The blood cells are erythrocytes, leukocytes, erythrocytes, nothing but RBC, we say. That erythrocytes, leukocytes, and that thrombocytes, which is going to helpful for the clotting of the blood. We can say thrombocytes. That RBCs are said to be nucleate. That means having nucleus. Ours is enucleate. WBCs are nucleated amoeboid cell which help in defense. Thrombocytes help in blood clotting, hemostasis. Process of blood clotting, we can say hemostasis. The thrombocytes are helpful for hemostasis. Lymphatic system. I think we have well known that exact idea we have on lymphatic system. So can I feel like so? We completed that in structural organization. Lymphatic system. We use it to say it as mini bus. In addition to the blood vascular system, the frog has lymphatic system. The lymphatic channels, the lymph nodes, lymphatic vessels, and lymphatic ducts. Lymph is different from blood. It lacks RBC and contains a few proteins. That's the story of blood vascular system. About the heart, about the portal system, and a brief information about the that blood. So now let's go with some questions here. Thrombocytes help in
Clotting of blood.
Hemostasis.
Hemostasis.
termed as hemostasis. The clotting of blood is termed as hemostasis. Okay. Wait, it's just moving. Okay, we have completed this. Next, I will go to the second question. Lymphatic system lag.
RBCs.
Very good. RBC.
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 That's it about the frag circulatory system, the blood vascular system of the frag. Only reading is not at all helpful for us. When you learn the human heart in human physiology, you should get back and you should compare how the frog heart is. Okay, so that is very important. The comparison is very important in case because we are learning all these issues because of to compare with human being only. Okay, so that's it about the blood vascular system of the frog.